there. So Lunsford had the runner picked off, but it was Heyer's high throw to second base that allowed West to slide in safely.
The runner was going. Jason perhaps took a little too much time in going ahead and throwing over to first base. And Stephen let the runner get in between him and the tag, and he threw high. Matt Easterday climbed the ladder, came down, made the tag. Still almost got him, but he was in there safe.
And Middlebrooks is going to go out and have a quick talk with Lunsford here. And once again, you see the leadership skills, something that the Rams will very welcome to have back. Then Monday, after this South Metro tournament is over with, the Rams have Troup County at home at 6 o'clock. Of course, we'll bring you that game live. Friday, Rams start the sub-region. They'll be taking on the Brookwood Broncos. Rams don't have a lot of time to get polished up here before 8 Quad A South action begins. Lunsford takes a look at the runner at second. His 1-1 pitch is lined towards center field. Luke Allen is there, though. Misses the ball. Tried for the shoestring catch, but missed it. One run is going to score. And now as the ball gets away from Allen, he's going to throw to second as the runner heads there, and he is out. So Allen does retire the runner. Heat 6. Easterday applies the tag at second base, but not before Salem picks up a run on the error by Allen. And after a half inning of play, the Seminoles lead the Newton Rams by a score of 1-0. You are listening to the semifinal round of the South Metro Tournament Championship right here on WGFS AM 1430. We'd like to thank the folks at East Metro Communications for helping to make this broadcast possible. Go by and see Joe, Brenda, Bert, or all the folks out there, or give them a call at 786-6796.
Aside from choosing the right home, it's important to choose the right mortgage loan. At Newton Federal Savings and Loan, we're putting today's low rates together with prompt hometown service in offering special construction perm loans with one-time closing, conventional and balloon mortgages, and more. And servicing of your loan remains right here, too. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, 3175 Highway 278, Covington. FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
Cardinal Field as the Newton Rams suddenly find themselves down 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning as they come to bat for the first time. And here to get that run back and perhaps some more, the voice of the Rams, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Bill Dolan. Let's quickly run down the Newton order. Jarvis Johnson is in left field. He'll be leading him off. Ryan Moon at second base, bats second. Matt Easterday is the shortstop. He'll be batting third. Luke Allen is in center field. He'll bat cleanup. Chris Middlebrooks, the catcher, hits fifth. Stephen Heyers at first base will bat sixth. Richie Cleary's at right field. He'll be the number 7 batter. Doyle Baker is at third base, batting eighth. Lane Floyd batting for Jason Lunsford at the DH position, hits ninth. We'll start things off with Jarvis Johnson. And Johnson's going to call time, so we won't see the first pitch yet from Ron Barrett.
And the Salem Seminoles have Andy Guest at first base, Brandon Harwell at second, Kevin Little's the shortstop, Chris Davis at third.
And now the first pitch on the way home to Johnson. The fastball that missed outside.
Around the outfield, B.J. Kelly's in left, Jason Levert in center, Jeremy West in right, Jake McGinnis behind the plate, and pitching is Ron Barron.
Barron winds and his 1-0 offering catches the outside corner. Same pitch, but about 6 inches farther in for the Ram leadoff batter, even the count at 1-1. Line from Barron. Johnson looking to bunt, but couldn't make contact with it. 1-2. That brought the third baseman, Chris Davis, way in. He was almost halfway in between third and home plate, so the only way Johnson was going to reach was to try to drag it down the first baseline.
Jarvis has had a couple of good bunts so far in the early season and has shown an ability to be able to do so.
There's the 1-2 pitch swung on and line hard to right center field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. So the Newton Rams start off their part of the first inning in correct fashion. Johnson with the single.
Jarvis really drills the ball well to that part of the field. Most of his base hits have been right in the vicinity of the second baseman, just by him, just over his head like that. Solid line drive, cleanly in there. On a drier day, that ball might have gone to the wall.
What I like about Jarvis Johnson and the fact that they have him in the leadoff spot is not thinking much about the home. He doesn't have big size, so he's not going to hit very many home runs. But just concentrates on hitting sharp line drives toward center, and he did so well in the number 9 spot of the batting order to start off with that he's ended up as the leadoff batter, and Bryce Avery is even in the lineup for the Rams.
Jarvis has pushed himself up. He is the regular everyday left fielder now, and other people will come in the event that Luke Allen fits. But he earned by his excellent hitting and good defense out in the outfield, too. He's done a good job.
Here's Ryan Boone as Barron was playing some games with Johnson, throwing over a couple of times. His first pitch to Boone is called a strike on the outside corner.
Coach Brasco explained to Ryan. I'm telling them going to have to hit the strike zone, I think, because it might be a little enlarged.
Barron takes a look in at Jake McGinnis, and here in the bottom half of the first, we've had a couple of calls that were a few inches off the corners being given, but if the umpire is a pitcher's umpire and he stays consistent, I think that'll be fine with Coach Brassfield and the Rams. Now, it's a different story if you call the strikes differently for two teams. 0-1 the count. Barron brings it home, and Boone swings and pops it foul to the right. It'll fall out of play. So the Rams' second sacker isn't a hole here, 0-2. He came into this week at 625. That average has dipped a little, but he's earned himself a promotion to the number 2 spot in the batting order.
Did a good job fighting off a tough pitch. That was a good, sharp breaking ball from Ron Barron, and Plug hung with it and fouled it out of play.
Boone, a right-handed batter. The pitch out. Runner is going. The throw down to second base. They got him. Salem had Newton figured out there. On an 0-2 pitch, Salem was pitching out. So Jake McGinnis with a great throw to second base as Harwell applies the tag. Johnson has gone here for the first out. Meanwhile, the 0-2 pitch missing outside. You wonder if Salem didn't have something as far as Newton's signs were concerned.
But kind of a good pitch to pitch out on, though, with 2 strikes, especially with the big lead as Jarvis Johnson was getting there. And anyone that's played the Rams knows that they are going to be running, so that was probably a pretty good call.
Rams also like to hit run. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball bouncing in the dirt. Puts the count up here at 2-2. So Johnson caught stealing. Coming into this week, he had 3 stolen bases. Had a couple also in the last 2 games. Stolen base and a caught stealing against Forest Park. He was caught stealing once against Passaic County, and I think he had 1 stolen base against Henry County on Wednesday as well. Good swings here, and pops one into shallow right field. Going out as Harwell. Coming in as West. It's West with the catch. That's the second out. So the Rams started by threatening for a rally here, but after Johnson caught stealing, now 2 down and no one on. Here's Matt Easterday. Today 5 for 11 going into the week's action. So I hope to have these updated for you by the second game that the Rams will play. If the Rams come out victorious, they will play Columbia tonight at 7. Not they'll play McIntosh at 4. There's a swing and a high pop fly toward right field. Jeremy West going toward the foul line. Takes a nice running catch about 5 feet away from the foul line. Down in right field, so credit West with an excellent play. Retiring the Rams here in the first. No runs, 1 hit. That runner was erased via the caught stealing, so no one left on base. So we played an inning here from Cardinal Field at Jonesboro High School, part of the South Metro Tournament Championship. Rams trail 1-0 to the Salem Seminoles. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430. We're brought to you in part by the folks at East Metro Communications with, well, I exaggerated the other day and said a million rate plans. Probably more like a couple of dozen. But go by and see the folks at East Metro Communications at Highway 278, about a quarter mile east of the hospital. You can also call them at 786-6796.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations. And you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you would expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
Cardinal Field at Jonesboro High School, Newton Ram baseball. And here with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Bill Dolan, thank you very much. The Salem Seminoles here in the inning send up Jason Levert. He'll be followed by Jake McGinnis and B.J. Kelly. They'll be taking on Jason Lunsford. They picked up an unearned run in the top half of the first thanks to a bobbled pop fly by Luke Allen. Lunsford winds and begins the second here, swung on and grounded toward short. Easterday picks it up cleanly. Throw to first is in time for the first out. Good to see that the Rams, Matt Easterday and Doyle Baker, are playing better defense on that side. That is huge for the Rams. If they're hoping to compete in 8 Quad A South, they need to play the defense.
Now, Matt came in, charged that ball. Looked like he almost came up a little quick. It appeared to almost snow cone, but he did have the ball and came up, made a good strong throw, and a lot easier play for Stephen Hires at first base that time.
Here's McGinnis, who threw out Jarvis Johnson, dealing with a good throw. There's a swing and a line drive, foul off to the right. 0-1. That throw was right on the mark. All Harwell had to do was pretty much let Jarvis Johnson tag himself out at second base. Middlebrooks gives the sign. Jason Lunsford, the low left-hander, wide deals. That was a fastball, but it missed up high. Or at least we think up high. That call drew some reaction. Wide. Lunsford brings the 1-1 home. There's a swing and a pop fly into center field. Luke Allen taking a few steps in and once again makes the basket catch about waist high. That's what he did in the first, or tried to do when he bobbled that pop fly back in the first inning.
Kevin, it looks like Luke might be having a little trouble seeing the ball because he kind of hesitated there at the last minute, and he was not all the way to the ball. I think that happened the first time, too. He thought he had an easy catch, and the ball was lower. Perhaps it's coming off this background here. He's having a little trouble seeing it.
First pitch bunted up the first base line by Kelly. Lunsford will have to take it and make the wild flip to first. It's not in time. What a bunt from B.J. Kelly, excellently placed. And for Lunsford, he basically had no choice, especially when you're a left-hander. When you reach down to pull a bunt like that, you have to flip your entire body around to make the throw.
He did a great job, and if the throw had been up just a little bit, the ball actually got to Stephen's glove, but he was unable to come up with it cleanly. We'll give him a base hit on the play, but almost a great play by Jason Lunsford.
Lunsford's throw was maybe 6 inches or so below the knees of Stephen Hires. Otherwise, they might have had it. Here's Andy Guest. Guest, another one of those names you might remember from the great Salem series last year. Swings at this one, lines it on one hop off of Easterday's glove in the left field. It's a base hit for Andy Guest. That ball was hit very deeply into the hole, and Easterday had to swipe to just get a glove on that ball.
Ball actually into the hole. Matt did a good job of getting to it, and I really don't know if he has a play if he comes up with it cleanly.
That ball was so deep. That was almost on the outfield grass, or it actually was about a step or two into the outfield grass by the time he got a glove on it. So I think you should call that a clean base hit. Got runners at first and second with 2 down, and here's David Harwell. Got 2 Harwells and 2 Wests in the lineup. David is the DH. Brandon Harwell's on deck.
Kind of reminiscent of last year's Rams teams with all the Allens and what else? Yeah, well, the Moons and the Allens. At one point in time, you had 3 Allens and 2 Moons in the lineup and a couple other people to fill it out.
Yeah, in fact, the Rams in the infield had Sam Allen at third, Luke Allen at short, and Ryan Allen at second a lot of the time. But 3 Allens out of 4 in the infield. First pitch from Lunsford, a called strike at the knee. Newton and Salem last year, especially the game at Salem High School, a tremendous game, and Luke Allen will remember his performance there, I'm sure, for a long time. Hit a dramatic home run late in the game, made a great running catch, then came in to close the game out. Lunsford, stretch, and the pitch inside and low.
In fact, the home run was in extra innings. The game went through the 8th inning. He hit the home run in the top of the 8th inning, then came in and picked up the save at the bottom of it. Another good stop on a low pitch by Chris Middleton.
First and second here, Salem on top by 1. They've got 2 hits. They have not committed a miscue yet. The Rams have committed 1 error. They have 1 hit, no run. Lunsford takes a long look at second and then steps off.
Mason has slowed down dramatically now. Runners on base. Starting to drive Coach Brass to go crazy over there.
Takes another look, his stretch and his pitch. It's up high for ball 2. Actually, it helps you in a lot of ways when you're working quickly. It helps the defense stay on its toes. If you're a quick worker, the defense knows they can't take any lapses out there. A ball could be hit their way at any time. But it also helps you in your quest to strike out hitters. If you can mix up locations and work quickly, you'll throw the hitter's timing off as well. Stretch from Lunsford. This pitch, the off speed, a called strike, inside corner.
And Jason has it pretty well set up now. He can do what he wants with him here. And hopefully it'd be nice to see him get the strikeout out of this inning without any damage.
2-2, 2 down. B.J. Kelly away from second. Indy Guest away from first. Middlebrooks with the sign. Lunsford, another look at second. Another. Now the stretch and pitch. Line right back up the middle. It's a base hit. It knocks Lunsford down. Allen coming up. They're going to hold him at third base. B.J. Kelly stays put at the orders of his third base coach. And probably wisely so. Luke Allen has got a very powerful arm out of center field.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I was a little worried when he bobbled it a little bit. I was afraid they may go ahead and send the runner, but they didn't. So still no harm in the inning. Jason can still pitch out of it.
Lunsford may, in this inning, if he can retire Brandon Harwell, have a unique distinction of giving up 3 hits, but not allowing a run in this inning. All of them singles, all of them coming back to back to back here with 2 outs.
Fortunate that last ball was hit as sharply as it was because Allen was able to come up in a hurry. The Seminole coach held the runner the whole way. Of course, P.J. Kelly, their left fielder, pretty good-sized fellow. Not a real speed demon, I don't.
Now, you wouldn't want to test the arm of Luke Allen with someone like P.J. Kelly. Now, if Brandon Harwell were there, it might be a different story. And speaking of that, Harwell grounds one towards short. Easterdale will go to second. They get the force there. And David Harwell kind of upended Ryan Moon there, but he hung on, and that'll do it for the Seminoles here. No runs on 3 hits, and they leave the bases loaded. We've played an inning and a half. The South Metro Tournament Championship semifinal round. Jonesboro High School at the Salem Seminoles 1, Newton Rams nothing. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430. We are brought to you thanks to the kind and generous folks at East Metro Communications on Highway 278 here in Covington.
There are some who say you can't put a price on quality, but here at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, you'll find it's more affordable. That's because you can now get the legendary quality of a Toro Recycler lawnmower for as little as $299. Toro's exclusive recycler technology cuts grass clippings so well you could even miss a week and still get a great-looking lawn without bagging. Stop in and see us today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, where you can get the Toro you've always wanted for as little as $299. So you finally decided this is the year you'll buy that new Toro Recycler lawnmower. You know, the one that gives you a great-looking, healthy lawn without bagging? Well, we at Coast to Coast Home and Auto would like to be the first to congratulate you on your excellent sense of timing. That's because for qualified buyers, you can buy it now with no payments or interest charges for 90 days. 90 days is as good as cash here at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, where you'll not only get a great Toro mower, you'll also buy some time.
And it's South Metro Tournament. The Newton Rams trying to win it for the 5th successive year. And unfortunately, right now, they trail 1-0. Here to try to do something about it, Kevin Holden.
And here to try to do something about it, Luke Allen, Chris Middlebrooks, and Stephen Hires, the next 3 men due up for the Rams. Allen, the first man up. We'll see if the defensive miscue affects the offense at all. First pitch on the way home to him, swung on, popped up foul. Allen kind of bailed out towards first base on that.
That's surprising. We know he had a little problem with lefties last year, although few at bats I've seen him against lefties, he appears to be hanging in there a little better this year.
And this is a righty on Ron Barron, the wind and the pitch, once again fouled off the left. That's another spoke for some aspiring young kid chasing after foul balls. No balls, 2 strikes here to Luke Allen. Allen coming into this week at 4 out of 8, a 500 clip. Takes the 0-2 pitch high and inside for ball 1.
Pushed him back off the plate a little bit. Might be setting him up for something outside, perhaps a breaking ball or something. Luke's got to really protect the plate right now.
Just signed line. The curve ball is swung and popped up to center field. Jason Levert is there and makes the play. Now, the way that Luke was having trouble with the outside pitches, fouling them off, I wasn't shocked really to see them throw the high-tight fastball to help set that pitch up, and it was a curveball.
Luke did a good job of staying in there on it. Got around it well, just got it up in the air too high, and pretty well hit straightaway center field.
Here's Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks back into the action. Here of the first pitch swings and bounces it foul at home plate. He was hitting .417 before he went down with an infection in his elbow. It kind of came up mysteriously about a week ago. Ended up in the hospital for a day or two.
I believe they're thinking now that it may have been a spider bite that caused the infection and all the problems.
But he is certainly happy to be back in the lineup here for Newton. He waits the 0-1 offering from Barron. Off speed, missing outside.
Hard to tell what the weather's going to do here. We've got some blue patches up there amongst some possible rain clouds.
1-1 outside, making 2 balls and 1 strike. Mother Nature having a little trouble making up her mind as to what to do this afternoon, but certainly all the folks here would like to see the rain stay away. 2-1 pitch. The curveball brought it in to catch the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good-looking pitch there by Ron Barron. That curveball really snapped right at the last minute, catching the inside corner.
2-2 count, it's on the way. Curveball swung on, bounced towards short. Kevin Little ranging in, makes the play. His throw in time for out number 2.
Had a good play, Kevin Little did, coming in, getting the short hop, and then getting the throw off, and retired Chris Middlebrooks by a couple of steps.
Now here's Stephen Heyer.
Stephen has really been swinging the bat well. Doesn't have the great batting average to show for it. He's had a lot of tough luck, a lot of atom balls, but he has been really hitting the ball well, and some of them are starting to fall for him now.
Barron is wide. First pitch home to Hires. That was a strike somewhere in the neighborhood of the outside corner, we'll say. It's 0-1.
I think it was about Rockdale County, but
it's in the neighborhood, isn't it? Only a short drive away. There's a swing at a hard grounder past the shortstop Little into left field. It's a base hit. So Hires is undaunted by the first strike call. Clean base hit. For the Rams, it's their second of the game.
Got a pitch inside, and Stephen turned on it real well and just drilled it through the hole between third and short. And the difference between that and an out is about 10 or 15 feet. Earlier in the season, that ball was going to the shortstop or the third baseman. That way got its way through with better results.
And now Richie Cleary, all the way down to the 7th spot on the order. He swings here and pops one high down the first baseline, giving chase as Andy Guest up on the fence, but it's well out of his reach for strike 1. And for Stephen Hires, taking a look at him before the game, hitting in the cages, he looks like a tremendously confident hitter. He's learned a lot from his older brother, well, both of his older brothers, Tim and Matt.
Tim worked a lot with him during the wintertime at some of the indoor cages, and it's very obvious in his swing, and like you say, his confidence level also.
Detroit Tigers made their last list or one of their lists of cuts 2 days ago. Hires not on the list. Burner's going. It's a pitch out. Throw down there. Did they get him this time? Still no call. Ball went into center field. So safe at second base is Stephen Hires. We missed it from here. I thought that shortstop Little had control of that one, but it was in center field. So safe there is Stephen Hires. And for the second straight time with the Rams going, Seminoles pitch out.
Like you said, it almost looks like they've got a feeling where it's going there. Umpire did not make an out call and then say so we're going to go ahead and give Stephen Hires credit for a stolen base on the play.
Here the Newton Ram dugout making noise. Richie Cleary tries one deep to left center field. Going back Levert, going back Kelly. Levert diving up against the wall. Did not make the catch. Safe at second is Cleary. Scoring on the play is Stephen Hires. Check Levert to see if he's okay. He looked like he went hard into that fence, and Richie Cleary for a moment looked like he was going to get one out of here, but he does tie the score at 1 with the stand-up double.
Well, Kevin, when he first hit it, I thought that ball was long gone, and it really didn't carry well at all. It kind of hung up there, and Jason Levert, or was it B.J. Kelly, almost with a miraculous catch out there as they converged there, but Richie really tagged that ball, and it went a long way, but that air's heavy with the moisture in it right now.
It's 340 to left center and right center here, and as you mentioned, when that ball was off the bat of Cleary, I thought we were going to see his 3rd home run of the year. There's Lane Floyd. like that. Doyle Baker taking a pitch outside, ball one. Boyd's on deck. Baker, a .625 hitter, entering the week's action. Hitless against Fayette County, but has performed well since then. 3 extra base hits in his last 2 games. Here he swings and pops one up to shallow center. Harwell goes out. He's going to be called off by Jason Laverne, who makes the catch and apparently is not harmed by crashing so hard into the wall. But for the Rams, they pick up a run on 2 hits, including the double from Richie Cleary. They left a man on base. There were no Salem errors in that inning. And after 2 innings of play, we are tied at 1. This is the semifinal round of the South Metro Tournament Championships, live on WGFS AM 1430. And if you get a chance, give thanks for us to East Metro Communications. They allow us to bring you the Rams while they're on the road in 19.
How do you spend your Saturday mornings? Why not join Bill Dolan and Kevin Holden from 9 to 10 for the Saturday Morning Super Trivia Spectacular? That's your chance to win prizes and show your knowledge of trivia right here on WGFS AM 1430.
Are you tired of being ridiculed and laughed at because you don't have a cellular phone? Don't cry. East Metro Communications can help. East Metro has several free cellular phones to choose from. There's no connect fee, no programming fee, and a $100 credit on your first monthly bill. Now, how much easier can it get? East Metro Communications, this area's oldest authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, is located right here in Covington at 7115 Highway 278. Visit their store a quarter mile east of Newton General, or give them a call at 786-6796. Certain restrictions apply, cannot be combined with any other promotion.
Welcome back to Cardinal Field as the Newton Rams have tied the score against the Salem Seminoles, and we're in the semifinals of the South Metro Tournament. Here to bring you the play-by-play once again, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Bill Dolan. Here in the 3rd inning, we'll get a chance to go west, young man, as Jeremy West, Chris West, and Kevin Little are the 3 scheduled hitters. Jeremy West bounced out to Easterday the first time that he came up. We are tied at 1 here in the 3rd inning. Rams scored their run in the 2nd, the RBI double from Richie Cleary off the left center field wall, doing the damage there. For Salem, they scored an unearned run back in the 1st.
Had an opportunity to really break it open in the 2nd, but Jason Lunsford with a good job of pitching out of trouble.
Lunsford takes a look in here as he goes lefty against lefty. Jeremy West, the hitter, pops the ball up on the bunt. It's going to just roll foul. It was popped up, but it bounced right in between Middlebrooks and Doyle Baker, and about 2 feet away from the chalk, and ended up rolling foul.
Good thing it did, because that would have been a very good bunt. When he first popped it up, I thought one of the Rams players would have a chance to, but it kind of landed in that Bermuda Triangle out there where none of the 3 could get it. And when it rolled foul, Chris Middlebrooks alertly jumped on it and took the foul.
That'll bring Baker in a couple of steps to 3rd base. Line from Lunsford, his pitch on the way home, swung on and bounced towards 2nd. Ryan Moon comes across. Clean play and throw in time. We want to remind you that the bottom half of the 4th inning is a very special inning in this game because it's the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning. You'll get a chance to win 70 hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe.
Right, and of course, all you need to do to be able to participate is send in a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding Inning, WGFS Radio, P.O. Box 869, Covington, Georgia 30210.
There's Chris West, a walk and a run scored the first time he came up there. Another lefty against lefty, and another bunt. This one a good one at the 3rd baseline, but just rolls foul close to the 3rd base bag. That one just bounced right out toward Baker, but fortunately they got a good roll toward the end there.
Also, if the folks wanted to fax in their entry, we could take it that way. And what's that fax number, Kevin?
It is area code 770-784-9892.
Or you could drop an entry by at the radio station, or Randy will take them down to Hard Luck Cafe and make sure we get them too.
Just find a way to get them to us, ladies and gentlemen. 0-1 pitch from Lunsford is low and outside for ball 1. But what we'll do is if a batter hits a home run in that 4th inning, whatever contestant's name has been drawn for that batter, we'll pick up 70 hot wings. So if we're really nice, maybe you'll give 20 or 30 to us. 1-1 pitch up high for ball 2.
And in the event that it would happen to be a grand slam, it would automatically go to 100 hot wings. So you would get extra 30 just because it was the bomb.
The Rams do some base runners and a grand slam. It'll help them win this game, and it'll make somebody very full. There's a swing and a high fly ball to right field. That one is easily home run distance, but also about 20 feet foul, and a good break there. Jumping all over that was Chris West. That would have been well out of here at that state fair.
And it looked like Richie Cleary doing some traffic out there, directing that ball, pointing towards the foul line, trying to get it foul, and evidently he got the job done out.
The art of body English for a right fielder. That ball was easily foul, but sometimes as a fielder you want to do everything you can to make sure the umpire sees it the same way you do. 2-2 pitch from Lunsford. There's a swing at a hard liner to center. Luke Allen broke in, now breaks back and makes the play for out number 2. There could be something in the background here behind home plate that's interfering with Allen trying to make those catches, because now that's the third pop fly hit his way, and the third one he had a bad read on.
And all of them were more of a line drive, too, instead of a high fly. And, of course, the line drive right at you, any outfitter will tell you, is one of the hardest balls to judge. And, of course, the sound is so much different off of aluminum bats, wooden bats, you really can't judge by the sound.
Here's Little taking a strike, a short drive from the outside corner. If the Rams got that call, the Seminoles got that same call last half inning. Lunsford deals the 0-1 to Kevin Little, missing low. The Jonesboro High School field is set very close to a subdivision, which is just down our first base line, and I thought there were just small trees behind home plate, but perhaps that's what's interfering with balls being hit out to center. 1-1 pitch. Slow swing of the half innings as part of the semifinal round of the South Metro. It's the Seminoles on top of your Newton Rams, 2-1. Newton Ram baseball live here on WGFS, 1430. We'd like to thank East Metro Communications. They allow us to bring you all the Rams road games.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered with vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
And welcome back to the field at Jonesboro High School. Newton Ram baseball, and here with play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Thank you, Bill Dolan. Here in the bottom half of the third for the Rams, we'll start with Lane Floyd, then we go back to the top of the order with Johnson and Boone. Salem scoring that run in the third thanks to the 2-base hit. Salem with 5 thus far. The Rams have 3 hits. As far as the errors are concerned, it hasn't been too much of a problem, but one Luke Allen error did lead to one Salem run back in the first inning.
And, of course, the fastball, or not the fastball, but the foul pitch, definitely led second. Defensive miscues have hurt so far.
Here's Floyd to lead off. Left-handed batter on the first pitch, takes it inside. Lane Floyd being used as a DH. He caught Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Catching 3 games in 3 days will certainly take its toll on you. Here he takes one to the outside corner for strike 1.
So he likes that outside, but it doesn't call much. Lane Floyd, a good hitter with surprising power for someone not built big stature.
1-1 pitch, a fastball, and that one, folks, was outside for a ball.
And obviously, over in Alabama, it really has to be outside, I guess, to be a ball here.
Of course, we were just pointed out by the PA announcer, Ray Purcell, the pitch was up high, so maybe that's what it was. Swinging a 2-hopper here to the Salem first baseman, Andy Guest. He takes the ball to the bag, and that's out number 1.
Lane Floyd fooled a little bit there on the curveball, and he grounded it fairly weakly down to Andy Guest down at first base. He made the play easy. Rams need to get something going.
Here's Jarvis Johnson hoping to get something going. Ram leadoff batter started this game with a clean single to right center, but was promptly caught stealing. In this at bat, he takes the first pitch, the curveball, for a strike, and Ron Barrett is not overpowering, but his curveball is probably his best pitch.
Really breaks sharply.
The 0-1, that one is strike 2 to the outside part. If you're a hitter, you've got to really watch that. You're going to, as Coach Brassfield would say, hit the strike zone.
That's not quite long enough. I don't think this thing.
The 0-2, the off speed, that one missed up high for ball one.
Jarvis really has to set out.
Signed. Here's the wind, the 1-2 pitch. Low, that was the curveball for ball two. Aaron started that one maybe waist high, and that one almost broke to the dirt. Johnson, the lefty, awaits the 2-2 pitch. Here he swings, and this is at the fastball near the outside corner. A strikeout of Johnson, the first for Seminole pitching. 2 down here. Here's Ryan Moon. Moon popped out to right field. Jeremy West made a nice catch on that ball. Was back in the first.
That last pitch to Jarvis, outside the strike zone, the way the umpire's calling that outside part, he had to go after it. There was way.
First pitch to Moon was about 1.5 feet behind him and back to the screen, and Ron Barron walks about halfway in toward home plate. Ryan Moon, for a couple of seconds, gave a bad look, but I don't know why you'd want to do something like that in a 2-1 game with 2 outs on the first pitch. I have a feeling that one just got away from Barron.
Oh, I believe he had a curveball that didn't break it all and came out of his hand.
The 1-0, the curveball, fell in low. So 2 balls, no strikes. 2 down here in the third. Ryan Moon is in the driver's seat, and Matt Easterday is on deck, another hot hitter. Moon takes one around the outside part for strike 1. As a pitcher, if you can continue to hit the ball just off the outside corner, it's going to be excellent today. 2-1 pitch down low.
Here's the only thing you have to do is just make sure it's between the knees and the letters, and whole neighborhood. I thought that was more for double play than for the strike zone.
We have a second base umpire behind home plate. That's what it is. 3-1 pitch to Moon. He takes it for strike 2. And Ron Barron and the Seminoles are taking advantage of the strike calls that they're being given. They're going to set up 6 inches outside. I'm sure the Rams will do the same. Rams' second stacker awaits the payoff pitch. Swings, bounces it on 1 hop. 2 hops make it. Barron with a nice short hop play. Throws to Guest in time. 1-3 in the scorebook. The Rams go down to 1-2-3 here in the third. We head to inning number 4. The Salem Seminoles leading the Newton Rams by a score of 2-1. You're listening to the semifinal round of the South Metro Tournament Championships. WGFS AM 1430 bringing you Newton Ram Baseball live, and East Metro Communications helping us to bring you Newton Ram Baseball on the road this year. Give them a call, 786-6796. They are an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
If you're age 60 or better, Newton Federal has created benefits especially for you. Our Now Interest checking account pays current market interest on your entire checking balance, not just part of it, if you maintain a $100 balance. And we offer it to our 60-plus customers with no minimum balance requirements and no monthly maintenance fees. Talk with us today at Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. After all, you deserve the best.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
And welcome back to Newton Ram Baseball. The Rams on the short end of a 2-1 score. And here to keep the Seminoles at bay is Kevin Holden.
Okay, Bill Dolan, you'll be taking over in the bottom half of the fourth, the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning, and you'll get a chance to bring us the rest of the Rams Seminoles. But meanwhile, I have one more half inning to do here. B.J. Kelly, Andy Guest, and David Harwell. Bottom 3 spots in the order facing Lunsford. Giving up 2 runs here. One of them earned. And the one that the Seminoles scored in the first was unearned. Here at the first pitch, B.J. Kelly swings and lines one foul down the third baseline at 0-1.
But unfortunately, an unearned run still is 1 on the scoreboard, and the Rams trail by that 1.
It's the difference right now. That ball that was lined down the third baseline, bounced, ended up out in left center field. So the Rams had to retrieve that and get that out of play. They have done this, and now Lunsford with an 0-1 count facing Kelly. Kelly singled and was stranded at third. In fact, Salem had back-to-back-to-back singles, but left the bases loaded. Pitch inside to B.J. Kelly. 1-1. Kelly got out of the way of it. Did not have a happy look on his face. Signed by Middlebrooks. Here comes the 1-1 on the way. The off-speed line hard toward left center. It's in for a hit. Over comes Johnson to cut it off. Kelly held to a single here to start the fourth.
Looking ahead to the Rams at the bottom of the fourth inning, in the wing-ding inning, it'll be Matt Easterday, Luke Allen, Chris Middlebrooks, Stephen Hires, Richie Cleary, Doyle Baker, Lane Floyd. Any one of those has the potential to take the ball out of the park.
Well, we talked about it before, even with Coach Brassfield. It is not the hitting that is the problem for this Rams team. In fact, 1 through 9, this team probably rivals the Rams of '93 as one of their best hitting teams they've ever had. Stretching the pitch, popped up. He was trying to bunt, popped it out of play. Make it 0-1. That bunt traveled a long way and nowhere near a fair territory bunt, plus it was popped up.
If that was supposed to be a sacrifice, he didn't do a very good job at it. He didn't get square to it, and the ball probably would have gone 100 feet if it had not hit the backstop. But it was obviously a sacrifice situation. The runner was going had contact, and it's not a very good effort by Andy Kiss.
Lunsford takes a look at first, now brings the 0-1 home, and it's popped up. Shallow center, could be trouble. In comes Allen, out goes Ryan Moon. Moon makes the play about 2 steps away from colliding with the center fielder, Allen. It is out number 1, sending B.J. Kelly back to first base, back to the '93 Rams that we were talking about before. That Ram team was strong enough offensively to bat Adrian Carr, who a lot of people considered perhaps a prospect to play college or pro baseball, in the 9 spot in the batting order. That team also had Jeff Key, who is currently at AA baseball with the Philadelphia Phillies organization. Don't forget about Matt Hires, who's at Middle Georgia, Lance Shannon at Georgia Tech. That team was about as deep offensively as you'll see, but this team could rival that. Stretch from Lunsford, he goes to first.
Kevin, a few minutes ago you mentioned something to Detroit Tigers. Tim name did not appear on their first early cut list. Is that what you said?
Right. They had sent some folks down to the minors, and apparently Tim stayed with the Major League squad. So at least for now, it appears Hires will be a Detroit Tiger and not a Toledo Mud Hen to start the year.
Of course, if he goes down there, then Max Klinger would become one of his fans, I guess.
Tigers have got a lot of first base prospects, so I have a feeling somebody's going to make Max Klinger proud before it's over with here. Mentioned the pitch, swung on and missed from David Harwell. That pitch was about a foot outside, and I think under normal circumstances you wouldn't see Harwell swing at a pitch like that. But when the pitches are being called that way, what's going to happen? Same thing happened to Ryan Moon.
You're absolutely right. That ball way off the plate, and Harwell just obviously lunging at it, almost like he was trying to protect a runner on a hit and run.
Swings at the 0-1 offering, does Harwell, pops it up, foul territory, Hires is under it, first base side, makes the catch. That's the second out, but talking about Ryan Moon, in the ground ball back to the mound to end the third inning, it was kind of a weak hit, but it was on a pitch 6 inches outside, and with 2 strikes, Moon had no choice but to chase a pitch like that.
You're absolutely right, and a good play there by Stephen Hires in foul territory in the pop line. He did something I love to see young players do. He squeezed it with both hands and made sure he caught. I'm a fundamentalist when it comes to baseball, Kevin, and when you see him do it the right way, it makes you feel good that there are some out there still doing it.
Well, the Hires family shares your faith in the fundamentals of the game, and that's how you win ball games. Here, a swing and a grounder. Doyle Baker, a wonderful backhand play. Is throw to first in time. Doyle Baker, who had some troubles with the defense over the last week, has shown himself there to be an excellent fielder with the backhand right next to the third base bag.
I think he had some talking to, and a little concerned about his glove, but did a great job on that play. Tough play to the backhand and a good strong throw.
No runs, 1 hit for the Seminoles, a man left on base. We head to the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning, the bottom of the fourth, with your score 2-1, the Seminoles leading the Newton Rams. Ram baseball on WGFS. Brought to you in part by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
East Metro Communications, your local authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, would like to thank their customers for making 1995 their best year ever. East Metro is this area's oldest cellular agent, and 1996 will be their 10th year in the cellular business. East Metro is starting off 1996 with another one of their incredible promotions. Free phones, no connect fee, no programming fee, and $100 credit on your first bill. If you're considering a cellular phone, go by East Metro Communications, a quarter-mile east of Newton General, at 7115 Highway 278 here in Covington, or give them a call at 786-6796. Certain restrictions apply, cannot be combined with any other promotion.
What's the crowd favorite at parties any time of the year? Why, it's hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. With flavors ranging from extra mild to TNT, they can placate any palate. There are 3 convenient locations to serve you, one in Madison, one in Conyers, and the original Little Red Building in Covington. So stop by for the best hot wings around, or call ahead so your order will be ready when you get there. In Covington, the number is 787-0421. That's 787-0421.
Welcome back to Cardinal Field at Jonesboro High School. Your score is 2-1. The Salem Seminoles on top of the Newton Rams, so the Rams need some offense. There is not a better time to have that than the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning. Bill Dolan, bring it to us.
Thank you very much, Kevin Holden. And Matt Easterday leads it off, and he's quickly ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strike. Here's the next offering. That's down a little low to make the count 2-0. Matt Easterday batting for Sissy Martin of Covington, Georgia. And he'd like to see if he could win 70 hot wings for Sissy Martin. Here comes the 2-0 to Easterday. Swing and a shot, foul down the right field line. Count now 2-1. Ron Barron working on make that a 3-hitter for the Salem Seminoles, only giving up 1 run so far. Rams bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Barron from the wide. Here's the pitch to Easterday. There's that pitch in the outside part of the plate area, called strike. 2-2 the count.
Ron Barron doesn't try to do very much fancy. Comes at you straight overhand. His fastball is straight as an arrow, but the curveball is what throws the hitter's balance off, and that's happened to a couple of Rams today.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Easterday, a shot rifled down the right field line, just foul, and some of the Ram fans behind the screen over there ducking out of the way, and I see a few celebrities down that way. There's JV coach Stanley Allen down there in the house.
Just think we could have been on top of the dugout.
I think I would have wanted to be with that shot going that way. The count's still 2-2. Ron Barron working quickly, brings it home to Easterday. And that ball had to be 14 inches outside, but the umpire called it strike 3.
Well, we know this much, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a pitcher and you like throwing the ball around the outside corner, this would be your day to pitch, and that's what happened to Easterday. Very seldom will you see that pitch called a strike in other circumstances. Hitters will really have to watch that.
There's no way he could have hit that ball. Luke Allen comes to the plate, and he'll bat for Crystal Hart of Covington. He takes one in about his shins all the way back to the backstop, and that makes the count 1 ball, no strike.
When you get a strike zone that's off like this, so far outside, it helps the pitchers in many ways, and you're going to see this game, I have a feeling, stay low scoring as long as the pitchers can spot the ball well. If the pitchers have trouble with location, then you won't.
Here's the pitch inside to Luke. Now that ball considerably closer to the plate than the pitch Easterday was called out on, but Luke Allen being a left-handed batter and that being inside, the umpire had a better view of it. Here's the next one. Curveball, and Allen fouls it back to the backstop. That makes the count now 2 balls and 1 strike.
The home plate umpire sets up over the right shoulder of the Salem catcher, which is the inside part of the plate to Luke Allen. I mean, his view of the inside part is much better than his view of the outside part.
Here's the next pitch, and that's upstairs for a ball. That runs the count to 3-1 on Luke Allen. Luke batting for the second time, flied out to the center fielder, his first at bat. Hit it pretty good towards left center, but got it way up in the air. 3-1. Here's count. Here's the pitch to Allen. Breaking ball, and it doesn't get in. And surprisingly, it pitched towards the outside part, but I think it was high. So Luke Allen down at first base via the free pass, and that's going to be I believe the first hitter walked by Ron Barron. So he's done a great job with his control.
And we mentioned Barron's not an overpowering pitcher. In fact, his first strikeout didn't come until the second out of the 3rd inning. He has 2 strikeouts and a walk here. And Chris Middlebrooks will be batting for John Siebold of Covington, Georgia. Siebold with a chance for 70 hot wings if Middlebrooks can get a hold of one.
Chris Middlebrooks, of course, famous for the only person to deliver a winner in the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning, and it was this exact game last year.
The semifinal game of the South Metro Tournament. In fact, Bill, was at the 4th inning that he delivered the home run?
I'm believing to think it was. Wouldn't this be wonderful? Deja vu? Saw it again. And a swing and a miss by Middlebrook. That evens the count at 1-1.
I think Chris heard us. He was trying to win someone 70 hot wings with that cut. He cut that straight from the heels, trying to hit it over the scoreboard that's just been installed here at Jonesboro High School. They've made a lot of renovations to this field since we were here 2 years ago. A terrific facility to play baseball.
Luke Allen leads the way at first. Ron Barron checks him, gets his sign, and here comes the 1-1 to Middlebrook. And that's low and away, but it's a called strike, of course. And that makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
One thing about it, you can disagree with the calls, and I think you would have a lot of justification in disagreeing with a lot of the outside strike calls, but the consistency is there at least.
1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Pitch out. Nothing happening, though. Luke Allen back into first base. That evens the count now at 2-2.
This time, Salem thought they had Newton signs, but they did not, as Luke Allen was staying put at first. So perhaps the Rams did a little change of signal.
They may have done something. Of course, it seems as though they pitch out whenever the Rams get behind in the count, which is not a bad time to do it. Count even now at 2-2. This would probably be a good time to run. And they were thinking that as Barron throws over to first and Luke Allen back safe.
By the way, Bill, to update you on the continuing saga of our third and first base coaches, Joe Brasfield and Don Shepard, a perfect day Wednesday against Henry County.
Swing and a miss, and Chris Middlebrooks chases a pitch about 6 to 8 inches outside, unable to come up with it. And, of course, that second pitch that was called for a strike changes whole at bat.
Well, when you have 2 strikes on you and the pitcher knows that he can bring it a foot outside, the pitcher would really be dumb not to take advantage of it. That's what Barron did. And now Stephen Hires is going to be batting for Wendell Wagstaff.
The runner going, the pitch, it's a called strike, the throw high and not in time. Allen in with a stolen base. And for the first time, the catcher, Jake McGinnis, with not a very good throw.
One of the things about the throw was that Harwell and Little were both at their positions. It took them a long time to get to the bag. And notice that earlier in the game, the Rams were running very deep in the count. Here they decided to do it on the first pitch. I think they caught the Seminoles off guard.
And it wasn't a pitch out either. Here's the next one to Stephen Hires, and that's the ball. Had to be high because it was within 3 feet of the outside corner, so pardon my cynicism, folks. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, though, here as the Rams bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. Barron from the belt brings it home. Breaking ball. And it hurts me to say, but it's a called strike on the outside part of the plate.
Ron Barron started that pitch. Granted, it was a curveball. He started it on the outside corner and broke it well off the outside corner.
And a fake throw down to second base. Nothing going on. Barron stepped off back towards second. But either the shortstop or the second baseman was in behind him. Allen was trying to get a good lead. Rams struggling because of this outside part of the plate. That was an odd move there. That came very close to being a balk because he had not come off the rubber completely when he broke, and very close to a balk there.
Barron had almost started into his motion, then suddenly stepped off.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a little number out towards the second base, and Brandon Harwell up over to first, and that retires Hires here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Rams failed to score. They had no hits. There were no errors, and they left 1 runner left on base. No winners in the Hard Luck Cafe. Wing-ding inning. Next game, 80-piece hot wing up for grabs. You're listening to Newton Ram Baseball here on WGFS, AM 1430, made possible by the fine folks at East Metro Communications.
Hey there, Carl the Greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know me, I'm the guy who delivers hot wings to the trivia show every Saturday morning. Randy wanted me to be sure and let everyone know that the Hard Luck now has 3 locations. That's one in Conyers, one in Madison, and of course the original location in Covington. You know, that's that little red building down there where Nationwide used to be. So for the best hot wings around, stop by the Hard Luck or call ahead so your wings will be ready when you get there. I can't remember all the numbers, but in Covington it's 787-0421. That's 787-0421. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to tell them that Carl sent you.
Are you tired of being ridiculed and laughed at because you don't have a cellular phone? Don't cry. East Metro Communications can help. East Metro has several free cellular phones to choose from. There's no connect fee, no programming fee, and a $100 credit on your first monthly bill. Now, how much easier can it get? East Metro Communications, this area's oldest authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, is located right here in Covington at 7115 Highway 278. Visit their store a quarter-mile east of Newton General, or give them a call at 786-6796. Certain restrictions apply, cannot be combined with any other promotion.
And welcome back to Cardinal Field at Jonesboro High School. We head to the fifth inning. Seminoles lead the Newton Rams 2-1. Rams threaten to be knocked into the losers bracket of the South Metro Tournament. Here's Bill Dolan with the play-by-play.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And Jeremy West hits a pop-fly can of corn. Stephen Hires underneath it, squeezes it. One pitch, one out.
Lunsford throwing the off-speed stuff, pulls the batter there. He did get a chance to pull it, but got on top of it. It's an interesting thing that when you have a pitcher that throws so slow, you'll see a lot of slow swings against him, simply because the batters are doing their best to try to time him. Kind of like trying to hit off a knuckleball pitcher. Lunsford doesn't throw a knuckleball, but you see weird swings against it simply because it's so slow.
And here's his first offering to Chris West, and that's down low and away for a ball. One ball, no strikes. One out. Top of the fifth inning. Game moving right along here. Rams trailing 2-1, though. Here's the 1-0 from Lunsford. A little bit low and away in the dirt. And the count runs to 2 balls and no strikes.
Bill, you remember a couple of years ago, the Cincinnati Reds had a very interesting combination. They could start some games with Tom Browning, who didn't throw very hard at all. You know, he might break 80 on the gun, threw a lot of strikes, and then you'd go to Rob Dibble, who could break 100 on the speed gun. Very dangerous situation. Once again, we have another pitch called a strike that was questionable around the outside part.
We've been calling him Chris West. It's actually Chris Davis. We had our score sheet wrong there.
So there's only one West in this lineup.
That's right. That's right.
Still 2 Harwells, though, and they bat back-to-back, 9th and 1st in the batting order.
And Jason Lunsford behind in the count, 3-1 with 1 out. Starting to cloud up again, Kevin. Lunsford working slowly, gets a sign from Middlebrooks. Here's the 3-1. There's a strike called, and that one actually was on the outside corner, so a legitimate strike. 3-2 the count.
With it clouding up, we're going to see a different strategy being taken by these teams. The Rams will want to hit as soon as possible before the rains come. That is, if they do come.
Here's the pitch, and down in the dirt, and ball 4. Chris Davis on base via the free pass. That's the second time he's walked today. The other time he flied out to Luke Allen in center field.
Second walk for Lunsford. If he keeps the totals that low, I think he'll be in good shape. As far as the strikeouts are concerned, you know he's not going to have a high strikeout total. In fact, his only one was McInnes, but in a good situation with the Rams having just given up a run and a runner at first, Salem threatening a further rally.
1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Lunsford working to Kevin Little, the shortstop. Here's the first pitch. Swing, and that ball's hit high in the air to center field. Luke Allen comes in, makes the catch, and that's the second out of the inning.
Another high pop fly towards center. This one, Allen got a much better read on, but it was a lot higher than the other line drives into him earlier in the game. The other part about that is that ball didn't carry at all. In fact, it wasn't hit right on the meat part of the bat, but it should have carried a little farther than it did. There isn't much of a wind blowing, but the air you mentioned is kind of heavy right now with the moist conditions that we have.
It really is. Center fielder Jason Levert steps up to the dish. And Lunsford's got him picked off at first. Here's the throw down, and Brian Moon with the tag. And out stealing is Chris Davis. Jason Lunsford once again with that good move. That's 2 he's picked off. 1 they got the out on, the other they didn't. But we head now to the bottom of the 5th inning for the Salem Seminoles. There were no hits, no runs, no errors, and nobody left as he was erased via the pickoff. The score, though, at the end of 4.5 innings is Salem 2, Newton 1. You're listening to Newton Ram Baseball here on WGFS AM 1430 and that's made possible by our good friends over at East Metro Communications.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
Welcome back. We're in the bottom half of the fifth inning. The Rams, the home team here at Jonesboro High School, the semifinals of the South Metro Tournament. Bill Dolan brings you the play-by-play. Bill, we're down 2-1, so it's your turn to get us some runs.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And here's a man that can do it for you with one swing of the bat. Richie Cleary, he drove in Rams' only run with a long double his first at bat. And here's the first pitch, and that's outside for a ball.
Unusual call there, and we got a little clap of thunder there, and the umbrellas have started to come out here at Jonesboro High School.
And Cleary drills it through the hole into left field. So Richie swinging a hot bat now, 2 for 2.
On Cleary's way around to first base, Andy Guest, the first baseman for the Seminoles, was standing right at the bag, and Cleary and Guest collided there. Cleary's a little bit bigger than Andy Guest is, but as Cleary was coming back to the bag, he hit Guest again on the way back. I don't know if there's any type of emotion going on between these two teams, but we've seen some inside pitches and a couple of plays like that at first.
That brings Doyle Baker to the plate. Here's the pitch. He's going to bunt, and it's a beauty down the first baseline. Just rolls foul.
For Baker, what would have made that the perfect bunt is if he had gotten the bat up maybe another inch and gotten that down just a little bit, but he couldn't put terrific backspin on it. If he had kept that ball fair and kept the same backspin on it, that thing would have stopped halfway exactly between first and home. It would have been the pitcher's play, and you know Cleary would have been safe at second, but the way that ball was bunted, if it had stayed fair, Baker had a shot of beating that out.
Yes, the rain really starting to come down here now. Infielder's charge. Baker swinging away, drills it into left field for a base hit. Richie rounds second, and he'll hold there. And the third baseman had to take a gulp out of his heart as he was coming in close, and Doyle Baker, with a full swing, ripped it into left field.
And you can tell that was an emotional boost for the Rams. Here's Chris Middlebrooks, 7 or 8 steps out of the dugout, halfway to the foul line, talking to his players. Cleary and Baker exchange pumped fists there. And they know they're in trouble with first and second, no one out.
Absolutely, and Lane Floyd to the plate, a left-handed batter who stands a little better chance of getting something to hit because the umpire has been a little tighter on the strike zone with the left-handed hitters up there.
The only bad thing about this is throwing the ball outside might force Lane Floyd to go the other way, and with Richie Cleary standing at second, you could either get the ball by the third baseman or you could have something started at third like a 5-4-3 double play.
Here's the first pitch to Floyd, and it's down low for a ball. 1 ball, no strike. Lane Floyd batting. Jarvis Johnson on deck, so a base on balls here wouldn't be bad. Bring up Jarvis with the sacks full. Cleary leads off first. Baker off second. Baker off first. Here's the pitch. And a bunt. And just fouled. Lane appeared to almost try to bunt it over the third baseman's head who was charging. That would have been a great play had that gone, because that would have probably scored Richie, and Doyle could have got around to third. The left fielder playing very deep and actually almost a little bit was originally shaded towards center. He's back to straight away now. That evens the count at 1-1.
Floyd was very late in squaring around to bunt and did that on the first pitch, so Salem wouldn't have been fooled the second time when he did that, and Joe Brassfield was quite irate. He had a nice conference with Lane Floyd there, calling time and expressing displeasure.
Kickoff play down at second base. Barron whirled it through to the second baseman, Brandon Harwell. Harwell had to step 2 steps in front of the bag to come up with it. That could have been disastrous if that had gotten by him. That would have saved the Rams the trouble of the sacrifice. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lane Floyd up to the plate. Here's the pitch. A bunt, and it is a beauty. Perfect bunt, deadened it, and there will be no play. No play. Lane Floyd beats it out, so credit him with just a perfect bunt. Give him a base hit and a sacrifice, I guess. Well, no, a base hit. You can't call it a sacrifice on the base hit. So just a great bunt. After looking bad, he comes up with a perfect bunt, Kevin.
And, Bill, the difference was the conference with Joe Brasfield because Floyd squared around much better that time, laid down a great bunt toward the pitcher, and the problem was second baseman Harwell, who was late covering, and that allowed Floyd to reach base. So we've got a bases loaded, no one out situation here. The rain comes down.
Here's the pitch to Jarvis, and that ball's hit towards the right side. That'll get one home, and retired at first base. A good job. Jarvis pulled the ball and got the run home. That ties the score up. I was kind of surprised that Seminoles played the first baseman, Holden, to run, because there was a big hole there, and that ball almost got through.
Yeah, with the way Jarvis Johnson hits the ball that way, that was a bit of a surprise, but you would like no one else better in that situation than Johnson. You know he can pull the ball, and unless the infielders are playing well in, you know that run can score. Now with a tie score, Salem has decided to play their infield in here against Ryan Moon.
Rams still with runners at second and third. Ryan Moon would love to drill a base hit here. Here's the first one to him, and that's upstairs for a ball. Rams have tied the score here. We've got a driving rainstorm going. This is the bottom of the inning, so anything the Rams score here counts, of course. So the Rams at this point will not lose the game in the event of a rainout. A base hit here could mean a win. And Ron Barron asked for a dry baseball. That could be a problem here. It's raining hard right now.
Yeah, it's definitely coming down. In fact, don't be surprised to see Barron take his sweet time, and the Rams do everything possible to help speed this one up. Salem playing their infield in. The Rams may try to do anything, including a squeeze, to get that runner home from third.
This helps Ryan Moon's chances, though, with that infield drawn in. Any kind of a chopper can get through real easy. And there's a ball back to the backstop, and Baker will score, and the Rams take the lead, and look at him coming out of the dugout.
They did the same thing when Jarvis Johnson had the ground out. Every single one of them came out. This is the most excited that this Ram team has been all year. To be honest, there have been a couple of times this year when I've been a little bit concerned about it. The Rams have kind of been just going through the motions in a couple of games, but that is not the case here. You can hear them chanting all the way from here, where we're in an enclosed press box. You can hear them all the way through there, and on those two runs, the Rams are jumping around and greeting runners right at home plate as soon as they score.
First out of the dugout, senior catcher Chris Middlebrook. First one out, and he was the first one to get to Doyle Baker, and the whole team followed him.
You're going to ask for another dry baseball here. Barron is having trouble keeping his grip on the wet baseball. This time around, Bill, the Rams benefited from something behind home plate here at Jonesboro High School. When that wild pitch came back, it rolled perfectly right up the backside of the screen and ended up coming past us here, where we're about a story up. It went past us and up over our heads, so it hit almost to the top of the screen. That was a wild pitch in the perfect of circumstances, and they're going to rush to get this tarp on the field as the players have come off the field here, Bill. The rain is a little bit too much to handle now, and they're going to try to cover this one as soon as they can.
Both teams out there trying to get the tarp out. Coach Brassfield and Coach Shepard of the Rams trying to help them. I guess they want to protect this lead now, but this would actually go in the books as an official game if it gets rained out right now.
It would, but you know with the games following the Rams that they will do everything they can to get the games in. And with the two games following, it would be a different story if it were just the Rams and the Seminoles today. But, of course, that Columbia has to play the winner of this game, and McIntosh has to play the loser of this. Both of those are coming up. With this rain coming down, look for some very interesting things to happen over the next couple of games.
And it's coming down now harder than it has, and you can already see puddles starting to form out on the infield. And the sky is that ominous gray look, like it could rain for a good time to come. There was a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today, and we're getting every bit of that 60% right here at Jonesboro High School.
We most certainly are, Bill, and as you mentioned, already around home plate the puddles begin to form. They got the tarp on as quickly as they possibly could, but the tarp can't cover everything behind home plate. And so you're immediately going to see, whenever action resumes here, if it does resume, that behind home plate they'll have an area that's going to be very tough to negotiate. The batter's boxes will be kind of tough. Even though they're covered, they'll be a little tough to negotiate because once the tarp is lifted, some of the moist conditions, some of the wetness will be going in toward that batter's box. The other thing that's going to be a serious problem here is going the right side deep in the infield because already you can tell how soaked those areas will be. So the and then shortstop, I would expect them, especially the shortstop, to have very bad footing once the action resumes here.
That's true. Unfortunately, this is not like a Major League Stadium where we can pull out a tarp and cover the entire infield. So the first part of the infield is getting wet very badly. The only thing covered is the pitcher's mound close to the home plate area, and there doesn't appear to be any indication of a let-up here. The Newton fans down in Kevin, am I glad we're not on top of that dugout right now?
That's right. We want to thank Ray Purcell and everybody here at Jonesboro High School who kept us from being out of these conditions. And it would be very bad if we were out there under these circumstances because we would have no protection. But the fortunate thing is we're inside a nice dry press box taking a look out at the wet field.
And the Rams have come back. They've scored 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They do lead 3-2. I have the feeling, any way you look at it, since both teams would have to play another game, if this is done at another time, that this would be continued. I don't think you'll see this one go as a rain out, even though officially you could say it is. It is now an official game, and the home team leads in the bottom of the 5th inning 3-2. Good to see the Rams pumped up. That emotion that has been missing is there. We've seen some good glove work on the infield. I really don't think I fault Luke too much for his early error because he was having trouble seeing the ball on the line drive. But Doyle Baker with a great play at third base. Matt Easterday very steady at shortstop today. And that emotion there, it looks like almost like a different team.
Well, it works like this. It's very good or very bad in baseball is contagious. You get a good hitting streak from a couple of hitters in the lineup, it's contagious. Other hitters see good pitches, their batting averages go up, and all of a sudden you have a team that's hitting hot top to bottom. That can work in the other direction. What happened early in the year, the Rams had trouble, especially on the left side of the infield, making plays. They went in against Fayette County, an undefeated team, and ended up losing 7-2 to Fayette, thanks to 6 errors, a lot of them by that side of the infield. The seed was planted in their mind. They did better the next night against Forest Park, but right off the bat Wednesday against Henry County, the errors started to be made. By the time the dust had cleared, the Rams did win at 6-5, but they made 9 errors in that game, and 6 of them were by that left side of the infield. All of a sudden now, they're spiraling downward, making these errors and having trouble. It started to affect their offensive game as well. You see hitters trying to make up for this by doing more on the offensive side. Here today, they worked off a clean slate. After the Henry County game, Joe Brassfield lined his team up against the center field wall and talked to them for probably 30 minutes. Gave them not just a piece of his mind, a significant portion of what he had to say was about the Rams' defense and that trouble. They concentrated a lot on that the last 2 days of practice, but the key thing was the confidence. And right off the bat, in the first 2 innings of this game, balls hit the left side of the infield were fielded cleanly by Easterday and Baker. That erases that part of it. Then the Rams get a couple of good things to happen offensively. You see the momentum switch in a positive way back toward Newton. Of course, it's a lot easier to be pumped up under those circumstances, but this is a close game, and that emotion can make the difference.
It really, truly can. And, you know, the first ball hit to Matt Easterday. He fielded it cleanly. Just a little bit of an off throw, and even higher, though, with an excellent stretch, saving the error there. And you got to know that helped to restore Matt's confidence. Because the next ball hit to him, he made a perfect throw on. And the play by Doyle Baker, you won't see much of a better play by a third baseman. If that ball gets by Doyle, that's a double down the line easily. Not only does he field it cleanly, but he comes up, and he had been worried a little bit about his throws, and took his time and just a perfect throw. Came in right about thigh high to Stephen over at first base, and looked real good on it. Doyle with a big base hit in this inning. Like I said, that third baseman's heart had to stop beating for a second when Doyle, that ball rocketed by him. And I've seen some people get hurt badly at third base when they thought bunts were coming and they were charging or just playing close. That could have been one of those times, but I was really surprised that they were charging and playing the bunt there. But I know Doyle had attempted one the first time, but I think that was more for a base hit than a sacrifice. And he swung away, and the way Doyle's swinging that bat, you don't want to be standing right in front of him.
No, Baker, as a matter of fact, this year has gone to a little bit of a change in his stance. He's a little more open in his stance. Talking about it before today's game, as a matter of fact, the reason why is to pull the ball a little more. Baker was going toward right and played center very well, but was having trouble with the inside pitches. That's what he got there in that circumstance. An inside pitch, since he's already got the open stance, got on top of it, drove it to the third baseman. But going back to Baker helping out Richie Cleary and then the wild pitch, and also what you mentioned about Baker and Stephen Hires, When you play bad defense, when you have trouble on defense, baseball becomes an individual game. It is the shortstop or the third baseman who's making errors, and he's starting to think more about his own errors and his own problems. When you play good defense, it becomes a team game again. Hires bails out Baker, and all of a sudden now Baker helps Cleary out, and it gives the Rams the extra run because they had the runner at third base when they threw the wild pitch.
Yeah, they're starting to do the things they need to do. The two, if you will, misplays of the game are excusable. I mean, Jason Lunsford, as many slow breaking balls he throws, the ball's going to hit in the dirt on occasion. Chris Middlebrooks, that's the only one he didn't stop. This came at a real critical time. At the time, you didn't think maybe it was, but when the next batter hits a little loop, I mean, let's look at it. He made a great pitch to the hitter, Jason Lambert, who could barely get the ball 120 feet over the first base. Instead, it falls in, and because there's two outs, the runner's going to scores these. Just a tough break.
Baseball's a game of inches.
If he hits the ball hard to right field, Richie Cleary catches it, or comes in on it, then the run doesn't score because the next batter up, Jake McGinnis, strikes out. So it's hard to say. Sometimes those ones you hit like a rocket are caught, and then you hit a little nubber that somehow has eyes and gets through, and it looks like a line drive in the box score, as they say.
Well, right now, the situation for the Rams when we return here, they're going to have Lane Floyd at third base with one out. Ryan Boone is going to be up with a count of 2-0. And after Boone, you're going to see Easterday and Luke Allen. And we were informed earlier that the weather, the conditions of the weather here at Jonesboro High School usually come in from left center field as the weather travels through. There's a water tower down the left field line past the scoreboard and past the high school, but still you easily see it here. And conditions look to be at least clearing a little out that way, so the rain might be somewhat short-lived still.
It does appear to be brightening up out that way, so, and it has definitely let up almost to the point of stopping. In fact, I'm looking at the puddles, and nowhere near as hard. In fact, Coach Brassfield out on the field not checking out. It's still kind of a sprinkle. You can still see it falling. But it was raining a lot harder than this before they tried to stop the game. That infield is awful wet, so it's going to take a lot of dry all to get it back into shape. The field was in good shape considering all the rain. That's another part of the problem. The field had already taken so much rain from yesterday and early this morning that you wonder how much more it can take. The outfield grass appears to be in pretty good shape. You don't notice any puddles except maybe right down the left field line. Infield and right in front of pitcher's mound kind of a problem.
The wild pitch, going back to that and what we had talked about before, and what a big factor that is, that being one of the final pitches before we had this rain delay here. Now when the team splits their dugouts, the Rams have an emotional advantage, but also every one of those Ram players can look out at the scoreboard and see that it's not 2-2, but the Rams are up by a run now, 3-2. And that wild pitch may end up being the deciding factor in this game, not only because of the fact that it allowed a run to score, but now the whole time the Seminoles are thinking about the last thing that they did before going to the dugout, throw a wild pitch to allow the go-ahead run to score. The Rams, in contrast, are in the dugout thinking they've just taken the lead and still have momentum.
Right. And when the Rams come out, they'll have one out with a runner at third and a 2-ball, no-strike count on Ryan Boone. And I think we're going to go ahead and take a break here. We're going to send it back to the studios but we don't have This Week in Baseball. So.
we can't show you the baseball bunch.
But it looks like we're going to be down a little while here, and as soon as we can, we'll check back and hopefully bring you the rest of this exciting game, and it has been exciting. But for right now, you have been listening to Newton Rams Baseball on WGFS AM 1430, and thanks to the fine folks at East Metro Communications, Joe, Brenda, Bert, Ernie, and
Grover and the Cookie Monster.
But thanks to them, we're able to bring you Newton Ram Baseball, and we'll be back in just a little while when it quits raining.
At Coast to Coast Home and Auto, we believe when you buy a new lawnmower, it should come with no strings attached. That's why Coast to Coast Home and Auto is proud to offer a complete line of Toro Super Recycler mowers. The exclusive Toro 5-year total coverage warranty guarantees that if anything goes wrong with a Toro within 5 years of normal use, Toro will fix it free. No strings attached. Even failure due to normal wear and tear is included. No other manufacturer makes that claim. Coast to Coast Home and Auto also wants you to know that Toro Super Recycler mowers equipped with Toro GTS engines are guaranteed to start on the first or second pull for 5 years, or Toro will fix them free. No strings attached. If you really think about it, it only makes sense. The best mowers should have the best warranty. So come see us at Coast to Coast Home and Auto for warranty details. We have a great selection of new Toro Super Recycler mowers, each with a Toro Total Coverage warranty and no strings attached.
An hour of a rain delay, and the folks here working on the field as the game has been called, and the Newton Rams win it by a score of 3-2. So Bill Dolan, Kevin Holden bringing you here, I guess, the last couple of minutes, Bill, as the Rams pick up the win here in 5 innings, and that wild pitch now is the difference in this game, literally, as it gives the Rams the win.
We talked about how huge it could turn out to be, and huge it is. And once again, that ball took such a strange route because the field was wet, and when it first bounced away, it didn't look like Doyle would have a chance to score, but it scaled the backstop. And by the time it came down almost like a pop-up, Doyle Baker had scored, and the Rams took that third run. They've done a great job here trying to get the field in shape. They're hoping now, in the next hour, with the sun out, and it is clear and sunny, they are out of field drive from what we understand, so they're going to try to get the field in condition where they can play that 4 o'clock semifinal game. You got to feel sorry for the Salem Seminoles. Just a tough break for them. They played an outstanding game. Great job of pitching by Ron Barron. And you got to figure like the weather had a lot to do, unfortunately, with their demise. The wild pitch, probably, the wet ball and everything. So really unfortunate. The Seminoles have run into some bad luck when they've played the Rams.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. Remember that Ron Barron 2 or 3 times asked for a new baseball in the 2 or 3 pitches leading up to the wild pitch. Got to think that's a factor. But another factor for the Rams, the offense executing in the proper fashion in this 5th inning where they scored the 2 runs. Cleary with the single, and then Bill, a play that helped shape this game. Doyle Baker at the plate and Cleary at first.
That's right. Doyle first shortened up and tried to bunt, laid down what looked like a good bunt, just trickled foul. Infield playing in close, and Doyle, giving no indication of bunting, turned and ripped a pitch into left field. That put the runners at first and second, and brought Lane Floyd to the plate. And there was another big play. Lane Floyd, after a really bad attempt at a bunt, Coach Brasfield said something to him, laid down a perfect, what would have been a sacrifice. The pitcher came in, and the second base was slow to cover, was not able to make the play, so Lane Floyd gets credit with a base hit bunt, and that loaded the bases, bringing up Jarvis Johnson. And on the first pitch, Jarvis turned on the ball and hit it hard to the second baseman. The only play was first base. That tied the score and set us up for winning run.
The wild pitch came with Ryan Moon at the plate. Doyle Baker crossed home with the run that gave the Rams the lead in the eventual win, and he was greeted, Bill Dolan, about 10 feet away from home plate by 10 or 12 very excited Ram teammates, happy to see their fortunes change. They played a better defensive game here, played a better offensive game, to be honest with you. They were shut down a lot of the time by the Salem pitcher Ron Barron, but the bottom of the order once again did the job. The last 4 spots in the order had 5 hits.
And all of a sudden, Coach Joe Brasfield looks real bright with Richie Cleary down hitting in the 7th spot. He's instrumental in both of the rallies. Just a tremendous job.
So in the finals in this game, the final totals for the Newton Rams, they have 3 runs on 6 hits. Salem Seminoles in this game did not commit an error. Rams left 3 men on base, and for the Seminoles, Bill,
they had 2 runs, only one of which was earned on 6 hits, and they left 5 men on base. The Newton Rams did commit 1 error, that on the early miscue by Luke Allen, but didn't appear to bother him this game. It was good to see him come back. The winning pitcher, the starting pitcher for the Rams, Jason Lunsford, goes to 3-0 on the season, and another fine job by Jason. And Ron Barron, a tough luck loser for the Seminoles in the game. Not sure what his record goes to.
Before the Newton Rams, their player of the game in this one, you could go a couple of different ways. Richie Cleary was perfect. Jason Lunsford with a well-pitched game. Then you can also look at Doyle Baker, who had a great backhanded stab in the first inning to help set things up there. And the great offensive play after laying the bunt down, bringing the third baseman in, perfectly executed hit and run. Remember, without that, you wouldn't have a situation where Jarvis Johnson could ground out or the wild pitch could take.
That's absolutely true, and it's going to be kind of tough to call this one. And Kevin, I'm going to let you call the first game player of the game.
Well, you heard me making the case for Doyle Baker here,
and I'll go ahead and vote for that. So let's do that. We'll give Doyle Baker player of the game for the fine defensive stop, and also the good play. And, of course, he scores the winning run on the wild pitch, too, so got plenty dirty doing it, too. So kind of reminiscent of the head-first slides of one of our favorite players of years gone by, Sam Allen.
Yeah, the Samo-meter is gone. We can't have the 15-foot
No,
head-first
I
slide.
really miss the measured slides of Sam Allen, but Doyle Baker becomes the player of the game in this game with help from a cast of thousands.
I believe that's so, and it really was a team effort for the Rams, something they did in a game like this. Now tonight, it's the Rams and the Columbia Eagles, the championship game at 7 o'clock, and of course we will see you then. And Bill, any final thoughts on this one as we wrap up after 5 innings of play?
Once again, a very close, good ball game between Newton and Salem, and you know, my heart bleeds Newton Ram blue, but it goes out to the Salem Seminoles. That's a tough loss. I mean, I would really hate to have to take the loss that way, but so be it. Better this way than the other way.
Absolutely so. The Rams come up with the win here, 3-2. So for our executive producer, Todd Statman, for our public address announcer who's been very helpful to us this afternoon, Ray Purcell, and also for Bill Dolan and that cast of thousands you mentioned here at Cardinal Field at Jonesboro High School. This is Kevin Holden reporting. Your final score is the Newton Rams 3, Salem Seminoles 2 in a game that's been rained out. They'll work on the field here at Jonesboro High School. They'll play the consolation game next, and the Rams will be back tonight. We'll see you about 7 o'clock. Now here are the Braves and Baltimore Orioles, West Palm Beach, live on WGFS.